Well, I think we've got a solid core of young men with experience now. And we've got 5 who were freshmen that are now sophomores that played a lot for us and had to and got thrown to the fire quickly and overcame a lot of adversity both on and off the floor throughout their freshman years. Each of them had to overcome some sort of injury. So they've kind of been through it, but you got that core of returners that played a lot for us: Mekhi Ray Adams, Alex Sherman, Mike Johnson, and Jim King, that we're expecting big things out of. And as far as returning productivity goes, they're kind of the core of that, and they need to shoulder that. And it'll be new roles for them, but nothing that they haven't been through as far as new experiences. They've played everywhere. They've been through the grind of a season, and so we'll be counting on them. And then guys, whether they're other returners or newcomers to the program, are going to have to step in and jump right in and hopefully embrace the roles that they've got too. Yeah, we may be the youngest team in the country. I don't have the stats to back it up, but by average age, it'd be hard to imagine somebody's younger right now. So, but with that, I mean, there's energy and excitement that comes from that. For anybody new to this level and to our league, you're going to have to figure out how physical you have to be, how fast you have to play, and then I think probably the most underrated portion of stepping into something new is the mental side. How mentally tough are you? How resilient are you? Can you have a good practice and then stack another good one? Can you have a bad game and then turn around and have a good game 24, 48, 72 hours later? So those are going to be the major challenges for anybody new, but especially those freshmen. We've got to be a combination of patient and urgent at the same time. So we've got to have patient urgency in our approach and drag them along as fast as we can, but hopefully keep things simple in that we can try to improve and really, hopefully by the end of the year, excel in the things that we think will be the most important to our success.
Yeah, everyone's going to have to be patient, but yet, you can't, use that as an excuse. You still, just because you're young don't mean, you can use that as an excuse. You just got to keep going you're an upperclassman.
You got to have a little bit of patience as everyone's so young, but they can't be an excuse at the same time. You got to still get to work and do your job.
That core of 5 freshmen that are back now as sophomores, they're probably more like juniors from an experience perspective because they've started games and had to play significant minutes and have gained that valuable experience that, there is no substitute for experience. But yeah, we really like how they've come back. I think they're all healthy, have improved physically, and I think that they've all grown as players just in developing their games and hopefully have improved their strengths and then found ways to improve in areas that maybe they found throughout the course of a freshman year that maybe they were needing to improve on a weakness. As you look at what we tried to accomplish in recruiting, we knew we needed multiple point guards, and so Rob Fry and Javon Modester, I think, are both guys that in recruiting we knew were going to need to make an impact in our program immediately from the time they set foot on campus, and I'm confident that they will do that. And then, on the perimeter, that's probably where most of our depth is in this class, playing kind of 2, 3, or 4 if you put numbers to them. We tried to get longer and more athletic, and hopefully with that athleticism and length, also an element of physical toughness that'll help us defensively as well, a willingness to guard. And I think we've done that, so maybe the physical makeup of our team will look a little different. I think we've got 3 really quick playmaking point guards, a lot of length and athleticism, and hopefully the ability to shoot the ball on the perimeter. And then we did try to get or add depth inside at what you would probably refer to as the center spot, or at least somebody who can guard a back-to-the-basket player. We lost that in a couple guys. We lost that, sadly, the second half of the year due to injury earlier than we would have liked to seen some seniors stop playing for us. But, returning Alex Sherman, who we really just never really had him as he dealt with a stress fracture last year. But he's physical and can, I think, guard physical players and rebound for us. And then Caleb Kaiser and Patrick Reddy are both guys that we see that can guard physical players and hopefully help us on the rebounding side as well.
Everyone will be able to be out there giving their all at all times, because I know as long as they have a teammate that come in and do their job also, everyone will be able to give it their all while they're on the court.
I think rebounding more than anything is about heart and passion and a willingness to go pursue the ball and take people on physically and consistently go to the glass, especially on the offensive end of the floor. But last year we probably played and we had good players who were smaller, but probably played some smaller lineups. And this year we may look a little different in that we'll probably play. We can go smaller, but we'll probably play some bigger lineups, maybe with guys who are a little more interchangeable, and some of that by design too.
I think that we need to play with a lot more effort and energy on defense. I think rebounding it's a hustle stat, and it kind of shows like you're getting out rebounded every game. It's not really about height. I mean, sure, of course, height helps, but anyone can be boxed out. So we just got to play more as a unit on defense together this year and communicate more, and we should see those numbers get better.
I feel like the freshmen that we brought in, they're like tough, they're aggressive, like nobody's soft, like they all really want to go after it. So I feel like we'll be able to keep up on the boards because, we have a lot of heart.
The point guards that we return and that we added, I think, are all tough guys. I mean, they're out front. Every possession starts with them on either end of the floor. I mentioned Fry and Modester. They've got a real willingness to guard and defend. Then, honestly, everybody else that we added on the perimeter, it's going to be 6'2" to 6'6", and so I think that length will help. We'll adjust some from a scheme perspective, too, to fit our personnel, but also to fit the unique year that we're in and our unique roster makeup with all that youth. So we'll probably not be overly complicated in what we teach on either end of the floor. We'll have great attention to detail, but we'll probably try and keep it simple and improve throughout the year, and hopefully, as time goes on, just continue to improve there. But yeah, we really tried to get more athletic, recruit guys who want to be competitive and love the game and are tough, and then just upgrade just kind of our physicality as well. So hopefully all those things help us on the glass and defensively.
I think just getting the reps in practice and really getting our defense down to a T, along with like the freshmen that we brought in, I feel like there's a lot of them that are long and lanky that are able to defend multiple positions, that are versatile. That'll help us a lot this year.
We've been pretty fortunate so far, relatively unimpeded in our preseason, and now into the first week of practice, relatively unimpacted in a major way. No major shutdowns like you've seen across the country at different times for different programs at all levels. So it's changed our season structure in that the Heart of America Conference reduced our number of regular season dates by 20%. So we've seen now a reduction from 30 total possible regular season dates to 24. We'll still play 19 conference games, which is what we were planning on doing. We've just changed our non-conference schedule. So now we'll play 5 non-conference games. And then we've got the opportunity to play a combination of 3 scrimmages and exhibitions. So, hopefully everything goes as smoothly as possible. We'll find a way to get 27 competitions in, which would still be a great experience for the men in our program. National tournament, conference tournament dates are still in place. So, you may find yourself, especially second semester, playing some 3-game weeks that you weren't planning on. You may find yourself on a Thursday all of a sudden changing who you're prepping for, playing somebody different on Saturday. If you lose an opponent and they lost an opponent, maybe you'll get together and play. So you'll have to react quickly, as we all have to right now. But that'll just be part of it this year. And you might have some nights where you're playing lineups that you weren't expecting. Your opponent's playing lineups. Maybe a lot of times, especially early in the year, the most excited team's going to have an advantage. The people who can turn the page and get ready for whatever's next the next day may have a distinct advantage too.
It's not really too different. Like on the court, we still get to play with each other. We don't have to worry about too much. But while we're on the sidelines, we have to space out. We have to make sure all of our stuff is separate from each other.
Well, we've talked a lot with our young men, whether it was last year, during the year, postseason last year, into preseason this year. Now we don't worry much about it at all. But our record last year was, I don't believe, an indication of the ability on our roster. I mean, we had one guy playing every game. No excuses. Nobody's going to feel bad for you. You got to go play and you got to go compete. We just had a lot of guys that had ups and downs on and off the floor, specifically due to injury. And so that's just part of it. Those are the years that maybe at times you got some special moments along the way, but all those injuries you'd sure like to forget. And hopefully those are in our rearview mirror now. But, we focus on controlling what we can control and moving forward. And, been a part of a lot of really good programs that have surprised people. If they think one thing about us right now, hopefully we'll change that narrative in the months to come. But of no real consequence to us how everybody else views us right now. I've got a lot of confidence in the young men in our locker room and their level of care for each other and how they've approached this season. I think our practices have been highly competitive, and we're just continuing to improve in that regard. And we'll just hope to continue to do that all year. I mean, that's our plan, just to win today and get better every single day that we can. I've got great confidence that if we stick with that approach, that these men will be successful.
It's definitely a number that I never want to forget. I think you can have constructive conversations about it and learn from last year, so I don't think it's not 100% smart to just not talk about it and forget about it. I feel like there was a lot of obstacles last year, and I don't think our record was indicative of our talent on our team. And I think that this year, everyone pushing each other and playing more together as a unit this year will show that we're a lot better than that.
You want to forget it, try not to dwell on the past, but yeah, you still want to keep it in the back of your head to use it as motivation, like to make sure it doesn't happen again.